It is the middle of October here in Arizona, which means it's planting season. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here in the middle of October. If you guys have been following us along, you know that we have over 180 fruiting trees, vines, and shrubs here on this newly established desert farm. And of course, fruit trees is a big part of what we do here. Now, we're at the front of the farm here. We have all of our evergreen trees here, and one of those is one of our favorites. In fact, I think it's Lori's favorite. So loquats can be a bit of a challenge. And in fact, you'll see our champagne loquat behind me here. We have planted 5 loquats in the month of October, and all 5 have survived in full sun and produced nice and heavy for us. So we know that we have a lot of luck with these, but the key to that we found is planting in October. The reason being, this champagne loquat right now is just starting to put on flowers. This is their peak season. This is the time of year that they love. We get a lot of growth on them. We get all of our fruit production now. More importantly, when you plant in October, these trees have a chance to get through several months of beautiful weather, putting on a lot of root growth before we hit summer when they really start to struggle. So planting in October is key. Now, obviously the champagne loquat is just fine, but Lori's favorite loquat is actually the one we're planting today. This is a Yehuda loquat, Y-E-H-U-D-A. This was actually the very first loquat we planted on the old farm, only one that we had there, and it's still doing amazing, producing really, really heavy. We got this tree from A Tropical Concept Nursery. They've been around for a long time. In fact, the one that we bought 8 or 9 years ago, same nursery. So you can find them on Facebook. That we'll leave a link down in the description below so you can see their Facebook page. They've got a couple different types. They've got a Christmas loquat and this Yehuda loquat, and this one I can tell you is definitely one of our favorites. All right, so it looks like left to right, it's there. So you can see the hole is not much bigger than the pot. That's how we plant all of our trees here. The reality is these roots have to be able to go into the soil and penetrate the soil in order for this tree to thrive. And again, you've seen all the trees here. This is exactly what we do. Also, as far as depth, you'll see that the tree itself is raised a bit. A couple reasons for that. The primary one is our caliche layer. It's a hardened layer that's about 1.5 to 2 feet down. We need these roots going out, which is what we're going to encourage. Raising it up off of or further away from that area helps for those roots to penetrate down until we get strong enough roots to penetrate that caliche layer. The last thing I want to show you is the root crown, which is very, very important. The root crown is the part of the rootstock that is going to go into the ground. So you have your trunk that comes down this way, and then it starts to flare out. So that's the crown or the flare, and some exposed roots slightly is fine as well. Hi Willow, can you check that out? Make sure we're okay. Yeah, dig in there. Is it deep enough? Is that going to be okay for you? Do you approve, or what's the deal? Smells okay? We look for the root crown. Make sure you dig that out. If you have a potted tree, go down and find that root crown. You do not want that buried. And these trees will settle a bit. So you'll also see that we're planting about 1 to 2 inches above the soil level. That's where we want that root crown placed. Just to make sure with anything that sinks, we don't have that root crown buried. That's a very, very bad thing. All right, let's get this planted. So basically, you get to tell me what to do. Yeah, it's loose. It's really loose. Get it down closer. Are we in the right spot?
I think so. Pretty close. I might go this way just a tad. Maybe some over there underneath her.
That's pretty good. Okay. So you can see what we've done here. We have 2 rings. We have an outer ring, which is where we're gonna be doing our fertilizing and watering long-term. So our irrigation long-term is for this outer ring. And we have an inner ring, while it's small, to make sure we're watering close to the root ball. So we wanna make sure we're watering here for the first few months, and then once we get into next summer, the majority of the water is actually out here. Reason being, we want these roots growing out. Everything we can do to get these roots growing out, and this double ring design allows us to do it. Now you'll see we're gonna be using drip irrigation here. Normally we're using bubblers. So in fact, we much prefer bubblers. That's what we use on pretty much all the rest of the fruit trees here on the farm. But because this is on a zone that has a few other smaller items on it, we're gonna have to use drip irrigation. Now we will hand water, and that's very important. If you're here in Arizona, we have very, very hard water, and you're gonna get buildup on the top of the soil if you're using drip irrigation. You have to be able to do heavy, heavy watering from time to time, and these rings will allow you to do that. And of course, peak of summer when we wanna add some additional water, really easy to drop the hose there, fill up these rings, and give it a nice deep soak. So a few things you saw us doing. The first one would be installing the irrigation. We had mentioned that we're doing drip irrigation this time around. Definitely not our preference. Not ideal for a fruit tree. So we're gonna have to do some hand watering on this one, especially peak of summer. You'll also see, as far as the irrigation is concerned, we did take one of these, which, by the way, 4 gallon per hour emitters. There's 4 of them on there. So to get 16 gallons an hour on this tree for watering purposes. Now it is on the same zone as the rest of the trees, so peak of season, it's getting about 30 to 40 gallons of water in the middle of summer without doing additional hand watering. You also saw us doing a cage around this. That's really for us. We have rabbits around here that would love to munch on this, so we keep the rabbits away for the first couple of years. And then of course we had to stake it. It's a little bit of a taller tree and kind of shallow on the root ball, so we want to make sure that it's stable. Always double stake your trees. We use some cut hose pieces that help to make sure that nothing is abrasive against the trunk to hold it in place. Lastly, you saw us putting wood chips, lots of wood chips on this tree. We have about a foot or so of wood chips around the ring. That will help to maintain moisture throughout the season. It'll also warm up the soil here during the wintertime to encourage additional root growth all winter long into spring. So one last thing that we don't have done here today, we do have to come back and paint the trunk. And I would encourage you guys, when you're planting trees, make sure you're painting the trunks of the trees. Keep from getting sun scald in the winter and sunburn in the summer. Of course, we use the Ivy Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard. It's an organic option. It's a fantastic one if you're looking for an organic option for that. If you do go with that, use our discount code EONFARM, EONFARM at checkout, get you 10% off. Loquats, need to get them into the ground in the month of October. We found that is ideal. It's the reason we're here, just dipped below 100 degrees, planting time for us. Give these trees several months before they hit that summer season when they tend to struggle a little bit. So just want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm and would love to see on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the comment section down below. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. You can see the hole is just a little bit bigger than the pot. That's how we plant. Willow, what are you doing, kitty? Hey, hey.
She's fine, she's just exploring.
You little, scoot. So you can see. Oh, that's how today's gonna go. Girl, you're digging. Hey, we're done digging. We're done digging. She's not done digging. I guess we can just plant it. Good catch, Willow. She's having a good old time in there.
She is.
Is she eating the dirt?